Your car feels slow, jerky, and suddenly lights up with warnings. Instantly you're thinking $300, $700, even $1,000. That's how drivers get trapped. These symptoms feel serious, but often aren't. Modern cars depend on sensors and adaptive systems. When they glitch, everything feels broken. Today, I'm revealing 13 hidden resets that can fix this in minutes. Don't miss the last one. It's tied to a repair most people overpay for. Reset number 13, ECU reset. Your car suddenly feels lazy. The throttle feels dull. Fuel economy drops. It still runs, but it no longer feels like your car. You panic, thinking your engine is wearing out. You head straight to a shop. You get slapped with a diagnostic fee, $100 to $200. Then, guesses follow. And before you know it, you're $300 to $800 deep, chasing a problem that might not even exist. Here's what's really happening. The computer adapts to bad inputs. Low-quality fuel disrupts combustion. Short trips keep the engine cold. A weak or new battery resets learned data. Dirty filters and sensor errors send wrong signals. Over time, these patterns get locked in, making the car feel slow, heavy, and unresponsive. The fix is simple and free. Turn the car off. Open the hood. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Wait 10 to 15 minutes. For a faster reset, turn the headlights on for a few seconds while it's disconnected. Reconnect the battery tightly. Start the car. Let it idle for a few minutes. Then drive gently so it can relearn properly. In many cases, the power comes back. The response feels sharper. And just like that, you avoided a repair bill. But the next reset fixes something even more frustrating. Reset number 12, MAF sensor reset. You're merging into traffic. You press the gas, and nothing happens when you need it most. That split-second delay can feel dangerous, like the car is second-guessing you. It throws off your timing, makes overtaking risky, and leaves you constantly unsure of how the car will respond. Here's what's really happening. The engine relies on airflow data to determine how much fuel to deliver. If that signal is off, everything goes out of sync. A dirty air filter, dust on the sensor, moisture, or a slightly loose intake connection can all distort that reading. The computer reacts fast, but with the wrong information. That's why power delivery becomes inconsistent and unpredictable. Most shops will charge you around $120 just to diagnose it, then another $400 to $800 chasing possible causes that don't fix the real issue. But you can fix this yourself. No tools required. Here's how. Turn the car off. Open the hood. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Wait about 10 minutes. While you're there, check that the air intake hose is tight and the MAF connector is fully secure. Reconnect the battery. Start the car. Let it idle for a minute. Then take it for a normal drive. If this was the problem, you'll feel it instantly. The delay is gone. Acceleration feels smooth and predictable again. Keep your air filter clean and properly fitted, because the next reset fixes a problem that feels even more random behind the wheel. Reset number 11, TPS reset. You touch the gas pedal. Nothing happens. Then suddenly the car lunges forward. That delay can throw off your control completely. It makes smooth driving impossible. Parking becomes jerky. Stop-and-go traffic feels frustrating, and many drivers assume the transmission is slipping or failing. But the real issue is often simpler. The throttle position sensor is out of sync with the computer. It no longer understands how much input you're giving. That mismatch creates the delay, then the sudden surge. Here's how to reset it. Sit in the car with everything off. Turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. Leave it there for 10 seconds. Turn it fully off. Wait another 10 seconds. Repeat that cycle 2 to 3 times. On push-button cars, press the start button without touching the brake. After that, start the engine. Let it idle for about a minute. Then take it for a normal drive. Results? The delay disappears. The throttle responds the moment you press it. Acceleration becomes smooth, controlled, and predictable again. No more guessing. No more sudden jumps. Quick tip: avoid aggressive pedal inputs right after the reset. Let the system relearn your driving smoothly. But if you think jerky throttle is bad, wait until you feel what confused gear shifts can do next. Number 10. Transmission relearn. The car shifts hard. It jerks between gears. It feels unsure of itself. One day, the transmission feels smooth. The next day, it feels clumsy and rough. That is when drivers panic. Why? Transmission repairs are the most costly in the car world. But sometimes the transmission is not failing. It's simply adapting badly. A problem that can fix itself. Modern automatic transmissions learn your driving style. They adjust shift timing, pressure, and behavior over time. After a battery disconnect, fluid change, or unusual driving conditions, those learned values can get thrown off. A relearn can help. Start with a fully warmed-up vehicle. Then, drive gently. Use light throttle. Let it shift through each gear smoothly without sudden acceleration. Come to complete stops. Repeat normal driving patterns for about 15 to 20 minutes. Avoid hard launches or aggressive driving during that period. The idea is to let the transmission relearn calm, clean inputs. Many rough-shifting cars settle down after this because the system stops trying to compensate for old or bad data. It is not dramatic to watch, but it can make a dramatic difference behind the wheel. But here's something most drivers don't connect. What if the problem isn't how the car shifts? What if it's how it starts? If this just saved you money, imagine what the next ones will do. Hit like and subscribe, because the resets coming up are the ones mechanics never talk about. Reset number 9. Fuel system prime. You turn the key, the engine cranks, and keeps cranking. It sounds alive, but it won't start. That hesitation instantly feels expensive, like something deep in the fuel system just failed. Most drivers don't take chances here. They head straight to a shop expecting the worst. That's where things escalate fast. The moment the mechanic sees that long crank, they already know you're worried. They'll point to the usual suspects: injectors, fuel pressure regulator, even the fuel pump. And suddenly you're staring at a $500 to $1,000 repair bill before anyone proves that's actually the problem. In many cases, the system has just lost fuel pressure. It happens when the car sits too long, after fuel-related work, or when pressure slowly bleeds off inside the lines. The engine is ready to fire, but fuel hasn't reached it yet. Here's what to do. Turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. Leave it there for about 5 seconds. Turn it off. Wait a few seconds. Repeat that cycle 3 to 4 times. On push-button cars, press the start button without touching the brake. After the final cycle, start the engine. After the reset, the engine fires up faster. No long cranking, no struggle, just a clean, confident start. If hard starts keep coming back, don't ignore them. It could point to a weak pump or a slow pressure leak. What comes next is even more unsettling, because the car is already running, but it feels like it might stall at any moment. Reset number 8, idle relearn. You're stopped at a light, and the whole car starts trembling. The steering wheel vibrates. The RPM dips, climbs, dips again. It feels unstable, like the engine can't hold itself together at idle. That moment alone is enough to make most drivers think something serious is wearing out internally. But what's actually happening is much simpler. The system lost its reference point. This happens after a battery disconnect, cleaning the throttle, or unstable voltage. The computer forgets how to maintain a stable idle. So it keeps adjusting, overcorrecting, trying to relearn. Here's the reset. Start the engine. Let it idle with everything off. No AC, no lights, no accessories. Just let it run for 5 to 10 minutes. Don't touch the pedal. Let it stabilize on its own. Turn the AC on. Let it idle for another minute. After that, take a short, smooth drive. At the next stop, it feels different. The vibration fades. The RPM locks in. The engine just sits there, calm and steady. Reset number 7, throttle body relearn. The engine suddenly starts revving on its own. RPMs jump, drop, then surge again. Your foot is off the gas, but the car feels like it's thinking for itself. That kind of behavior is unsettling. It makes the engine feel unpredictable, like something is about to go wrong at any moment. Here's what's really going on. The throttle body controls how much air enters the engine. More air means more power. Less air means the engine slows down. The computer constantly adjusts this to keep the engine stable, but after a battery disconnect, cleaning, or voltage drop, it can lose track of the throttle's closed position. So it starts guessing, opening and closing too much, trying to find the right balance. That's why the RPM keeps jumping. Resetting is easy and free. Turn the ignition on without starting the engine. Leave it on for 10 seconds. Turn it off. Wait a few seconds. Repeat this cycle 2 to 3 times. Start the engine. Let it idle for a few minutes without touching the gas. Let the system relearn its resting position. You'll hear the change. The revving calms down. RPM stays steady. The engine sounds smooth again. No random surges. No confusion. Drive gently for a bit after this. Let it relearn properly. Up next, this one doesn't mess with RPM. It triggers a warning light that instantly makes drivers think something serious just failed. Reset number 6. ABS light reset. That ABS light flashes on, and your heart drops. You're thinking of brake failure, safety risk, something serious. It changes how you drive right away. You brake earlier. You stay cautious, because deep down, you're not sure the car will stop the way it should. But here's what many drivers don't realize. The ABS system depends on sensors at each wheel. They track speed and send signals to the computer. If one sensor sends a bad reading, even for a moment, the system can log a fault and turn the light on. A small glitch, a dirty sensor, a brief loss of signal, and the warning stays, even after the issue is gone. Here's what you can do. Turn the car off. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Leave it off for about 10 minutes, then reconnect it securely. Start the car. Take it for a short, careful drive. Let the system read all 4 wheels again under normal movement. You'll notice it quickly. The light stays off. The car feels normal again. No warning staring back at you. But if that light comes back, that's when it's trying to tell you something real. And the next reset deals with a warning that makes drivers even more uneasy. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most drivers. You're learning what actually fixes problems instead of guessing. Stick with it, because the next resets can save you even more time and stress. Hit like, subscribe, and keep watching. You're getting closer to avoiding repairs most people end up paying for. Reset number 5. Airbag light reset. Out of nowhere, a warning pops up that makes your stomach drop. Not performance, not comfort, safety. Suddenly, every drive feels different. You're not just driving, you're questioning whether the system meant to protect you is actually ready. Here's what's happening. The airbag system is extremely sensitive. It monitors seat sensors, wiring under the seats, and system voltage. A brief voltage drop, a loose connector, or even shifting the seat can trigger a fault. The system logs it instantly and keeps the warning active even after everything returns to normal. Here's a simple reset to try. Sit in the car, turn the key to the on position without starting the engine. Watch the airbag light. It will come on, then go off after a few seconds. The moment it turns off, switch the key back to off. Wait a few seconds. Repeat this process 3 times. On the final cycle, start the engine. Now check the dash. The light stays off. The system resets. Everything feels normal again. But stay alert. If that warning comes back, it needs proper attention. Because what's next doesn't just trigger a warning, it quietly affects how your car handles every turn. Reset number 4. Steering angle sensor reset. The car feels off. You're driving straight, but the steering doesn't feel centered. Then, a traction or stability light pops up. Now the car starts second-guessing your inputs. It may cut power. It may brake slightly on its own. And suddenly, normal driving feels unpredictable. Here's what's happening. Your car relies on a steering angle sensor to understand where the wheel is pointed. It uses that data to control traction and stability systems. But after a battery disconnect, alignment, or even aggressive turning while parked, the sensor can lose its center position. When that happens, the car thinks you're turning, even when you're not. Here's how to reset it. Start the car or switch the ignition on. Turn the steering wheel all the way to the left. Hold it there for a second. Then, turn it all the way to the right. Hold again. Now, bring it back to the center as straight as possible. After that, drive the car slowly for a short distance. You'll feel the change quickly. The steering feels natural again. The warning light disappears. The car stops interfering and drives smoothly. Keep your wheels straight when parked and avoid forcing it against the stops, because what's next may seem small, but it's one of the most annoying things your car can do. Reset number 3. Power window reset. You press the window switch. It moves halfway, then stops. You try again. It struggles, jerks, or refuses to close properly. Now you're stuck repeating the switch like something is broken. It's frustrating, and it makes the car feel worn out. Here's what's happening. Power windows rely on a control module that tracks the top and bottom limits. That's how auto up and auto down work. But after a battery disconnect or voltage drop, it can lose those limits. When that happens, the system gets confused. It stops the window early, or disables the auto function completely. Here's how to reset it. Turn the ignition on. Roll the window all the way down using the switch. Once it reaches the bottom, keep holding the switch down for about 5 seconds. Then roll it all the way up. Once it reaches the top, hold the switch up for another 5 seconds. Release, then test the auto function. You'll notice it right away. The window moves smoothly. It goes up and down in one touch. No stopping halfway, no hesitation. Simple fix, but easy to overlook. And what comes next feels even more inconvenient, because it happens before you even get into the car. Reset number 2, key fob reprogram. You walk up to your car, press the button, nothing. Press again, still nothing. Now you're standing there, locked out, wondering if the key is dead or the car stopped recognizing it. It feels random. 1 minute it works, the next minute, it doesn't. Here's what's happening. Your key fob and the car communicate through a synced signal, but that connection can drop. A weak battery, signal interference, or a brief electronic glitch can break that link. When it does, the car simply stops responding, even though the key is fine. Here's a quick way to reset it. Get inside the car and close all doors. Insert the key into the ignition or use the start button sequence depending on your car. Turn the ignition to on, then off, several times in a steady rhythm. On the final cycle, press the lock button on the key fob. In some cars, you may hear the lock cycle. That means it's reprogrammed. For push-button cars, follow a similar on-off cycle without pressing the brake. You'll notice it immediately. The doors respond again. Lock, unlock. Everything works like normal. If it keeps happening, replace the key battery early, because the next reset deals with something that makes drivers think the entire system has failed. Reset number 1, AC system reset. You crank the AC, and warm air hits your face. You turn it colder, nothing changes. Then the airflow switches randomly. Face, feet, defrost, like the system has a mind of its own. In that moment, it feels big, like the compressor is gone, or something deep inside just failed. Here's what's really happening. The AC system uses blend doors and actuators to control temperature and airflow. The computer tells them where to move. But after a battery disconnect, voltage drop, or glitch, those positions can get lost. Now the system doesn't know where cold or vent actually is, so it starts guessing. Here's how to reset it. Start the car. Turn the AC to max. Set it to the coldest setting. Let it run for a minute. Then slowly turn the temperature all the way to hot. Wait a few seconds. Then back to cold. Do the same with airflow modes. Cycle through face, floor, and defrost. Give it time to move through each position. Let the system recalibrate. You'll feel it working. Cold air returns. Airflow stays consistent. The system responds correctly again. Let it run for a few minutes after resetting. Give it time to settle. Because this is where many drivers assume the worst, when the fix can be this simple. If even one of these resets worked for you, that's money you didn't have to spend, and problems you didn't have to chase. Most drivers never learn this. They just keep replacing parts instead of resetting systems. So hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Tell me which one surprised you the most. And if you want even more powerful fixes, watch our video on mechanics hate this reset trick. It fixes 95% of car problems for free. Because the next reset you learn might be the one that saves your engine.